Welcome to today's session of our overview webinar series. I'm Dimple, the Director of Academic Programs at INDICA. At INDICA, we are passionate about creating and curating online courses that delve into various aspects of Indian knowledge systems. Our mission is to share the transformative power of timeless indigenous wisdom with lifelong learners. For more details about our work and our other offerings, our centers, our platforms, please do visit our website, indica.in. Exploring our catalog on indica.courses, which is the platform on which we host our courses and workshops, you will find a wide array of ongoing and upcoming courses spanning multiple streams of knowledge. Some of our highlighted courses include Vriksha Ayurveda, Puranas, Vedic Principles Unveiled, Sanskrit, A Gateway to Indian Knowledge Systems, and Introduction to Vedanta. We encourage you to visit indica.courses to browse our complete course catalog. Feel free to enroll, gift, or recommend our courses. Do bookmark our website and follow us on our social media so that you're abreast of our upcoming offerings, ongoing courses, and other programs. This particular overview series essentially serves as a platform for prospective learners to get a detailed understanding of what each INDICA course offers, and it helps you in making an informed decision about enrolling into a particular course. Today's webinar is focused on our upcoming INDICA course, Introduction to Hindu Iconography. This comprehensive online course is designed to guide learners through the rich cultural and spiritual artistic traditions of Hindu art, offering an in-depth exploration of the sacred symbols and figures that have shaped Hindu culture across millennia. This course commences on the 16th of July, and we'll have live sessions every Tuesday at 7 p.m. IST. Our distinguished faculty member, Sri Sushant Bhartiji, will be taking you through the course details in a bit. Before I hand it over to him, I would provide his introduction. It's my pleasure to introduce Sushant Bhartiji to all of you. Sushant ji is a conservative architect and researcher based in New Delhi. His broad interests lie in understanding the diverse architectural heritage of India. His research focuses on Indian temple architecture, iconography, and the cultural heritage of Braj, known for its complex religious setting. He has worked with the National Museum, New Delhi, documenting cultural heritage in Uttar Pradesh and Ladakh, and conceptualizing designs for new museums at Kashi Vishwanath and Kedarnath. Sushant ji is a strong advocate for preserving the tangible and built heritage of the Braj region. He was selected under the PM Yuva Fellowship by the National Book Trust Ministry of Education to write a book on the Indian independence movement. He's a recipient of the Ideas Research Fellowship 2023 from the Society of Architectural Historians, Chicago. Sushant ji is also a Fellow of the Royal Asiatic Society of Ireland and Great Britain and an Associate Fellow of the Royal Historical Society, London. I now invite Sushant ji to give us an overview of this course. Over to you, Sushant ji.
Thank you, Dimple ji. Namaste. Am I audible? My voice is okay?
Yes, of course.
Let me just share my screen. I may need a green signal from your end, but it's visible to everyone or not.
Yes, Sushant ji. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, namaste to everyone present over here. And today I am here. I'm in to give you an overview of my upcoming course on Hindu iconography. Technically speaking, I can see a lot of people in the audience who are actually the part of my earlier temple architecture course. And I do remember that I made a sankalp in front of them that I will be taking this course particularly. And though I am a bit late, I should say not bit late, I'm very late in conducting this course. But finally, I think I'm in the stage of fulfilling my vow. And here I'm giving that overview about the upcoming course. How it will be, what challenges we are about to face, what journey we will be taking in the course of next 15 lecture series. And this time I have kept it a bit short, not just thinking about the diversity of a topic. I mean, the topic of iconography is very, very large. I mean, as you remember in the temple architecture, I mean, those who have attended the temple architecture course, They remember it was not easy for me to even complete a 30 hours lecture series. The same goes for Hindu iconography as well. Just one small clarification. A lot of people have asked me this question that why I have, made this course as Introduction to Hindu Iconography. The reason is that when we say Hindu iconography, I mean that I will be only limiting to Hindu gods and goddesses or the iconography pertaining to Hinduism. I won't be going much into Jainism and Buddhism. Had it been Jainism and Buddhism, I would have named this course as Introduction to Indian Iconography. That was a small clarification I wanted to give. Uh, from a very, purely classical point of view, the Sanskrit word Archa, Bera, and Vigraha convey the scope of a subject more clearly than the word idol or statue. It is because that they certainly contain a feeling of worship and adoration, which is the most important fundamental of Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma. Art for the sake of art can develop, and only the creation of beautiful artwork can become the ultimate goal of artist. In the field of art, a beautiful artwork will become the goal, even if it continues to convey the artist's message to the public. But in the field of iconography, the Vigraha or Archa made will only be means of worship through it, and it will be means of establishing a relationship between the deity and a devotee. Religious sentiments is not necessary for the perfection of art, but for the Archa or a Vigraha can be considered complete only when it is made according to the specific standards set by a specific sect or sectarian values. Thus, the freedom of Archakar, who makes the Vigraha or Archa, becomes quite limited as compared to the ordinary artist. You can see the image of our famous Arun Yogi Raji, who made this sculpture of Ramlala, and maybe you would be able to, relate what I am trying to convey. In the true sense, the Archakar or the person who makes Vigraha works not only for the self-satisfaction, but also for the welfare of the masses. Now, the rules and regulation prescribed for the Archakar or the one who make Vigraha sometimes bind his personal life as well. And a lot of people who do remember the interviews of Arun Yogi Raj after the Pranapratishtha of Ayodhya will remember what I'm trying to say. The Archakar has to choose the medium of the Archa in a manner which is approved scriptures, which is appropriate for that particular place, time, and object considered. Like, for example, in the case of Ramlala, the sectarian values of Ramananda Sampradaya was taken, though Arun Yogi Raj comes from the Hoysala school of iconography, but still he has used the Hoysala principles for the casting the Ramlala sculpture in the case of Ramananda Sampradaya and for the region specific pertaining to Ayodhya. And this is something you can say that he has to lead a life of penance before starting the actual making of Archa. Until its completion, he has to follow all the rituals and tradition, completely. And it is similar, and it is not something which we only see in Hinduism. It is something we also see in Buddhism as well. In Tibetan tradition, a lot of people who are here would know that we have the tradition of Thangka paintings. And according to the Buddhist tradition, before a Buddhist Lama enters, and particularly the Lama who paints the Thangka is known as Lama Chitrakar. Before he goes into painting of Thangka paintings, he should be following certain types of worship and rituals. Then only he is fit to worship those, or then only he is fit to paint those Thangkas. And that's how, how it works, because you have to manifest something which will connect you with the Almighty, with the divine. Unlike an ordinary artist, an Archakar is bound by many restrictions, as I told you, by the subject, by the method of drawing, rhythm, time, color, tradition, his personal practice, his, sadhana, and many more things. He has to show the development of this art with the limited boundary. And the abstract has to be given a concrete form. The heart of the devotee has to be captured, and the distress has to be provided with a strong means of eternal peace. According to Indian ideology, the ultimate goal of worship to establish a unified relationship of the worshipper with the Nirguna, which means that ultimate you have to connect yourself with the Nirgun Brahma, the Brahma which is there. I mean, you have to combine with him. But to reach the Nirgun Brahma, you have the foundation is Sagun Upasana. And that's why for Sagun Upasana, you need Archa Vigraha. And this is the only reason that being a Nirguna Sampradaya or being a Nirguna school of tradition, which is Buddhism and Jainism, we still find a lot of sculptures of Buddhist and Jaina, the Buddha and Jaina Tirthankaras as well. The study of Indian culture, history, art cannot be complete until introduction of iconography is made. And on the contrary, you need to know the ancient languages, the history of India, the various philosophical streams, sects. Then only you are able to know that how iconography plays. And this is the one of the most important fundamentals of this course, that we will be going through all this introduction, that how the things are connected with each other. Many types of contradictions we see in Indian iconography, which are influenced by place, time, and people. I will give you a few examples. Let's connect with the iconography of Surya. I will go into detail in the course itself, but I have to give a few hints. I have to create the curiosity about the course, that a lot of people come in and join the course. So if you see, we have two photographs on the slide. The one who is sitting with a turban is a Kushana period Surya. What you have to notice is that in Kushan period, the period from where the Surya worship actually starts in the form of iconography, you can see a boot over there. Whereas when the Surya is being carved, another image what you see is a Surya from southern India. When it is carved, you can see the feet are visible. Now, why this disparity is there? When the visibility of the foot is discarded in the case of northern part, why it is allowed in northern part? It's a question. Answer will be seen in the course itself. The second example is a very interesting one. A lot of people would have seen this particular sculpture of Uma Maheshwara with Skanda, especially the people who are from southern part of the country. And the people who are from northern part of the country attending this course might see that Shiva is not holding any trident. He is not holding a Trishul. What he is holding is, he is holding a Parshu Mriga Narankita. He is holding a Mriga in his hand. Now, why so? The question is very interesting, and answers lie in the sectarian disparities, regional variations, iconographical text, and many more things. Ayappa, Murugan, Kartike. The story goes that after that, I think everyone knows about this story, that this particular competition was put between Ganesha and Kartike, and putting his brain into place, Ganesha won the competition, and out of anger, Kartike went to south, and the place of origin where actually you see the Kartik worship is basically north. But today it's totally opposite. Kartikeya has totally vanished from northern part of the country, and whereas he rules all the hills, the 5 main temples in southern part of the country. The question is very interesting, why he is there and why he is prevailing over there with these specific iconographical traits. Another question which will be seen in our course, definitely. This is a very interesting sculpture of Vishnu, and a lot of people won't be able to trace the time period. Basically, he is from Gupta period. The only 2 attributes what you can focus is the chakra and the gada on the lower hands. But what is missing in this particular sculpture is the Padma. If you remember very well, the attributes of Vishnu is Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Whereas here you can see the Shankha on the upper left hand, you have the Chakra, you have the Gada, and what he is holding in the upper right hand is a Matulunga fruit. The Padma is missing. Now the question comes, the Padma, which has become a very important part of Vishnu attribute in today's time, why till the Guptas it was not prevalent? Another interesting question to be seen. The next interesting part is Balram, the elder brother of Krishna, and he is he is one of the most oldest deities being worshipped and has association with Lord Krishna himself. But what you find interesting is that we find the worship of Balram happening from before the birth of Christ, from BC era. And the black and white image what you are seeing on the slide is basically from Mathura region, where he is holding a cup, and Balram is known for drinking intoxicated drinks, which is specifically known by the name Varuni. And here you can see the Varuni in his hand, for which Balram is known. Interesting part is that in this particular iconography, his claw and his musal is missing. But what you see in the other photograph, he becomes a 400 form. He has a hull, he has a musal, and suddenly the Varuni Patra is missing. Interesting question to be looked upon, that why these changes are happening in iconography. I mean, is this something which has something to deal with the the sectarian on the sectarian grounds, or the geography is playing certain role, or do we have different texts to deal with the iconography in different regions? The interesting part, the Buddha. Buddha is known to give the first human form to Buddha. A lot of people might not be aware, but before Buddha iconography was carved in Mathura region in the Kushan era, before that, Buddha was depicted with different forms, with different symbols. He was not given a human form at all. The first time Buddha attained a human form was in Mathura region during Kushan era. But what you see interesting part is that the same Buddha, which was considered to as a competitor, or as a response to the Vedic the Vedic principles, the same Buddha was later taken into the Hinduism, considering himself into Dashavatara. And what you see again in the Rani Ki Vav pattern, I mean, I've used a lot of images from there because that site is very near and dear to me. You see that he becomes a four-handed Buddha holding an Akshamala, a Padma, and a cup in himself. So a different variations of Buddha of the same deity, which has ruled the South Asian landscape for a long period of time, and still an important religion in a lot of South Asian countries. Another interesting example is Brahma. A lot of people are aware and must be hearing this particular thing a lot of time, that the worship of Brahma is forbidden. The worship of Brahma is not there, and most of people go to Pushkar saying that it's the only Brahma temple still in living tradition, but that's not the story altogether. If you see the sectarian text, if you see this text which talks about the iconography, specifically Vishnu Dharmottam Puran, it talks about the iconography principles of how the image of Brahma has to carve. Now the question comes, when the text is saying that the image has to carve, is that image carved only for the showpiece purpose? Answer is no. The image has to be carved for the religious purposes. The question is that why the worship of Brahma declined? Well, that can be a different question to examine. But the point is that Brahma sculptures are there and are available in a lot of museums. What you're seeing on the slide is the Brahma from the Pala period, which was excavated from the present-day Bengal. Another interesting group of deities or god and goddesses, what you say, is Kamadeva and Rati. A lot of people would have seen the movie Utsav of Rekha, and that particular movie talks about the Utsav, which is none other than the Utsav dedicated to Kamadeva and Rati. And Vasanta Panchami, which has become the Utsav of Saraswati now, was actually in ancient India Utsav dedicated to Kamadeva and Rati. And we have the text, especially Kalidas talks about the temples and the deities, which were, the sculptures of Kamadeva and Rati, which were worshipped by the people at that point of time in India. Unfortunately, Kamadeva and Rati are still there in the Hindu iconography available, but they are not present in the Garbhagriha. Now they are seen only on the outer facade. Again, the worship has declined. That's a different question to be examined. But the point is that these all things are there in the iconography which have not been dealt properly. Now, another interesting thing is that it's not only about, that iconography is only to show some sort of beauty relevant in the particular sect or sampradaya. Sometimes it is also used to show their power on other sect as well. What you are seeing over here is Jaina Saraswati. And you can see the second image. You can see a Tirthankara, which is seated just above the Saraswati image. Now, this sort of imagery you will find in Jainism and Buddhism, where the Jaina figure is doing a sashan over the Hindu devata and deity. Well, technically, I shouldn't be saying that it's a Hindu Saraswati, because this relevance of Saraswati is also very important in both Jainism and Buddhism. But here you can see that how the same attributes of Saraswati is being used here, but the only difference is that that particular Jaina figure, which is right above her head, makes a whole difference altogether and makes this Jaina Saraswati, makes this Saraswati, which could have been a Hindu Saraswati, into a Jaina Saraswati altogether. Now, the competition was not only between different religions, it was also in the Hinduism as well. And people from South would be knowing the tussle between the Shaivites and Vaishnavites, which has been a core part of their landscape for a very long time. And it's still there. I mean, I should say that. And the best part is that in that particular tussle, or I would say the inspiration, they both have learned a lot of things. There is a certain term called Uma Kalyan Sundeshwara Murti. The what you are seeing on the right hand side with a Shiva holding a trident is a Uma Parvati, is a Uma Shiva sculpture where Shiva is embracing Parvati. Now, with this particular form was developed by Shaivites. Now, in response to that, Vaishnavites also felt that we should also come with such type of iconography, and they in return carved the imagery of Vishnu with Lakshmi. In the same way, Shiva is embracing, Uma. The same way, you see Hari embracing, Lakshmi. And another interesting part is the iconography of Surya, which I will deal in greater detail, at least for one lecture, for what I have thought and planned. A lot of people are aware of the larger Surya temples in Odisha, in Marthand, the sun temple in Kashmir. We have sun temples in various other parts. Sun temple of Multan was very, very famous, which has been mentioned by Fayan. Unfortunately, it is not there in the place right now. But sun worship, or I should say the Saura Sampradaya, the Sampradaya or sect dedicated to Surya was very, very big. And it was so big that at one point of time, Devatas like Vishnu and Shiva got intermingled with him to give the superiority to Surya himself. And what you are seeing on the slide is basically the assimilation of Shiva, Surya, and Vishnu coming into one place altogether. And so it becomes Hari Har Archa Pratima. Hari means Vishnu, Har means Shiva, and Archa means Surya. Hari Har Archa Pratima. So we have different sort of, such sort of sculptures as well in the iconographical program. And having said that, I mean, I have given a lot of different points that how things are going to be, what all different challenges we have. And so I have just given you a few different I would say points on which we will be dealing to create a lot of discussions and to have a journey, an interesting journey to deal with that how a particular sculpture was carved in the period of 2000 years. And this is a journey which I mean, I would say that this 15 hours lecture would not be, it will be just a stepping stone for you to enter this world. It's not something that you will learn everything, but yes, my objective will be to make you go through with each and every nuances pertaining to iconography, which you can explore in the later course of your studies or whatever you want to do. I want to give you a basic outline of the course. I mean, there can be a lot of addition and subtractions. Those who have attended my temple architecture course know very well that how how many changes I incorporated in my course, because as per the demand, a lot of subjects were incorporated, a lot of subjects were deleted as well, because the audience wanted something very interesting. The same thing will be done here also. But what you see is the basic outline, and we will deal with the importance and the evolution of iconography pertaining to Hinduism. Then we will have the core terminologies related to the Hindu iconography, the principles, the features, and how the icons are made. Unfortunately, we don't have the text or making in northern part of the country. Here we will go to south a lot, the bronze sculptures and all those things. Then we will explore the iconography pertaining to Shaiva, Shakta, Vaishnava, and many more things. And also we will also study the associated deities like, the Dikpals, the Indra, the Brahma, and many more. So this will be the basic, course outline for our 15 hours interesting journey. And I'm looking forward to have a lot more people over there, because I remember in my temple architecture course, we used to have a lot of question answer with the, attendees. So this time also I'm looking forward, because last time I had a very tough time to answer those questions. So this time I'm preparing myself that I should be geared up to answer those questions. But yes, I'm looking forward, for this course, and it's a subject which is very, very near to my heart. So I'm trying my best. I have put all my efforts to give the best, to all the people to attend, this particular interesting course. Very cautiously curated by me with a very lot of hard work and patience. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sushantji. Kotiji, could you please? Yeah. Thank you so much, Sushantji, for this overview, which also gives a tantalizing insight into what to expect. And I'm glad towards the end you showed the proper structured outline, because they're not just questions that you will answer. It also shows how you're going to take the whole cohort through that in a semi-academic setup. And yeah, I'm glad that you made a mention that this is a course by popular demand. A lot of folks would have spoken to you during the live sessions of the earlier course, but we had got emails, and whenever a course concludes, we seek feedback from the participants, and a lot of them had sorted, and some of them had mailed us at reach out at indica.courses asking us that, we want this particular course. And that's the reason when I came back to you for, okay, what is the next course likely to be? When this was mentioned, it was like, okay, it's a no-brainer. So, and I love the fact that we had Meenuji, who actually started with saying there's a request, we want requests. So she's written request for more webinars. I'm kind of taking it as request for courses. So we have a live example that we actually take feedback and recommendations from the keen learners who join us. And this course is a testament to that. And we have made a note of whatever Meenuji has sought, and we'll make sure that as and when that is made available, we'll reach out to you. Raji ji has also asked the same, that she wants a webinar on Sapta Sindhu civilization. Yes, we will take. So we have Ramakrishnan Sitaraman Garu, who has raised his hand. We have some time for a Q&A now. So Ramakrishnan ji, we will invite you to talk, and you could probably ask your question to Sushant ji right away. I've just unmuted you, so please ask your question. Your hand is raised, that's why I've brought you here.
Am I audible now?
Yes, Ramakrishnan ji, yes, you are.
Yes. So I just had a quick question. He showed a pic, this thing.
What? Your voice is a bit low, Ramakrishna.
Is it better now?
No, sir. Could you please be a little louder? Like your voice is very
now better.
Sort of. Please
okay,
go ahead.
I will manage.
Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, what is happening? Anyway, so I'll try to shout at you anyway. So never mind. So the thing is that you showed that picture of Uma Maheshwara in Halebit temple or something like that, and at their feet I noticed something like a monitor lizard. I was just curious about what that was before I forgot it.
Was there a monitor lizard?
Yeah,
that's
something that looked like...
It is not a monitor lizard. It's a design of the pedestal, basically.
No. It had legs and all that. If you could go back to that slide, or maybe I'm just seeing things.
Yeah, just a second. I will share that for you. This one?
No. There was towards the end, last 2 or 3 slides. Here.
Which one?
So
yeah,
the previous one.
This one?
No, the previous.
Yeah, this one.
Oh yes. Here we have. Correct.
Yeah. What is that? I wonder.
Well, there should be some sort of story, because this particular sculpture, what you are seeing here on the slide, it's not a principal deity in a temple. It's a carved image on the wall of the Halebit temple. So it must be associated with some sort of story. I mean, I have to look into that. I mean, I'm not aware of.
But I myself have never seen a monitor lizard.
I mean, when I was making this slide, I never noticed that there is a monitor lizard over there. So thank you for making me aware of this fact. But yes, I will definitely like to have a look, because I cannot remember any episode where when we have association of a monitor lizard with Shiva. It should be some story in Shiva Puran, definitely, or some Sthala Puran. Because one thing is very clear, what I have seen is that which I will be dealing in few of the cases, that we think that a lot of images could be the creativity of artist mind or the Sthapati's mind, but that's not a story. Every sculpture or every detail on the particular sculpture is basically the outcome of the scriptural the data which is available with us. So, like for example, today only I was reading in Vishnu Dharmottar. Specifically, it is mentioned that the Airavata, which is the mount of Indra, should have 4 teeth, not more than 4, not less than 4, exactly 4. So such details have been given. So this is how interesting field of iconography is.
So, Sushantji, even before the live session, you have a query from the audience, which I'm sure you will answer in the live session whenever this said picture emerges. So, I have a question, like a lot of other folks have asked this. So, I'm writing that perhaps Sushantji will answer this in the live session when the course commences. So, if anyone else has a question and they want to ask, please raise your hand, or you could just put it in the chat box and we will, ask it for you and Sushantji will address it. Ramakrishnanji, thank you for asking. I'm just moving you to. Correct. So, any other questions? We have something here. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, could be. I have to look into that. Something very interesting.
Correct. So, Sushantji, before anybody else asks, is there any particular eligibility criterion for the participants? Any educational background, age range, anything that you feel that needs to be like kind of maintained?
I think the only criteria for iconography is that one has to be seasoned with all the tales pertaining to the different deities and gods and goddesses. If one is aware about all these episodes, if one has seen the even the the different B.R. Chopra, Mahabharata or Shiv Puran or Vishnu Puran, something like that, I think it is more than enough, because mostly all these leelas of different devatas and devis are being carved by the sthapatis. And if you are aware about that, it's not only, it's just a stepping stone, because in the case of iconography, each and every attribute has a different bhav, has a different idea. Like even like for example, when we talk about the four-headed forms of Vishnu, each head has a different bhava. One face is sattva, one face is raja, one is tama. So all these things comes into the picture as well. So for now, that is something which I will take care definitely. Last time also there were a lot of very complicated topics, and for that I used to share a lot of reading materials to the people, because in 1 hour it is not possible for me to bring in everything, because it's a very very large topic. So, but the point is that if someone is at least has his basics clear about that what are different tales, and Krishna killed whom, if he killed Keshi or Dhenuka, because we have the Krishna Leela Ankan also in the iconography. All those things, like Shiva killing Gajasur. We have specifically called Gajasur Samhara Murti, where Shiva is killing the elephant demon. So if someone is not aware, because a lot of time I've seen people saying that that Shiva is playing with Lord Ganesha, but technically he's not Ganesha. He's basically diamond with the head of elephant. So such confusions tend to happen, but if that is there, it's good. If not, then also it is manageable.
There is a query from Sumati ji. She asks whether the absence of Shiva's trident has something to do with Kapalikas and their influence.
Yeah, could be. Why not? In every slide I told that we have a lot of things being added and separated by the sectarian, thought process. So yes, Kapalikas and Kalamukhas have a lot of important role to play there as well.
There's one question that I'll take. Arundhati ji has asked, how long will the recording? So for each live session, the recordings are made available in 72 hours of the session, and you will be able to access the recordings of the entire course for 1 year from the last session. So you don't have to worry even if you're traveling also, because we understand that a lot of our participants join from various countries across the world, and the time zone differences are there. Therefore, we've made it sure that the recordings are available so that there is asynchronous learning. And for the participants who sometimes miss live sessions or are not able to join the live sessions due to certain commitments or even time zone mismatch, the learning portal has a discussion forum on which you can post your queries, and the faculty always responds. Or if you don't feel like putting it on the discussion forum, you can always drop us a mail at reachout@indica.courses, and it gets addressed within 72 hours. Sri Lakshmi ji has mentioned that as far as she knows, monitor lizard is considered to be the Vahana of Parvati, Ma Parvati.
That is something which I'm hearing for the first time, but if that's the case, it's something good I have learned today then.
But I'm sure that before the particular image appears in the course session, you
Yes.
would have the answer for the, but that I'm sure of. So, is there any
Definitely.
other query from the participants? You might want to put it in the Q&A chat box, or you can just raise your hand and we'll ask.
Well, a lot of people who just told people are questioning about the queries, where to put. So last time also a lot of people used to put a lot of questions on the portal after the
Yeah.
lecture, and I used to answer them with my best knowledge what I had. So this time also I will be doing that. And again, I mean, I'm not saying that I am an expert in iconography. I have taken iconography and the temple architecture course because I have a lot of passion about the subject. So with the passion, I mean, I may tend to make a slight mistakes, but rest assured, I will try my level best to, give all to solve all the queries what participants would have.
uh, your passion does shine through, Sushanti, that's one. And second, we tend to refer to the courses as a journey of learning. The journey is undertaken both by the faculty and the participants. So, uh, at the end of this journey, but in any case, learning journey never stops. But whenever the session concludes, I'm sure that the awareness, knowledge, wisdom, and perspectives of both the faculty and the participants are very different from when they started. So Ramakrishnan ji has also again, okay, we'll bring him back. Ramakrishnan ji, please ask. We can't hear you though you are unmuted.
Am I audible now?
Yes, it's coming from a distance, but please speak up and we'll see if we can decipher.
Just a quick question. What about evaluation?
Oh, evaluation. Yeah, I mean, I am the best person to answer this. So last time we had MCQs, very, very, not very tough, very, very simple. But the only criteria to solve those MCQs is that you have to be attentive, or you should have attended the recordings well, and you will be able to answer them. Just simple MCQs. I remember last time it was I don't know, it was some 100 MCQ questions. So this time it could be 50. Let's say.
Any other question, Ramakrishnan ji?
No.
Okay, thank you so much for asking this. I'm sure a lot of other folks who had this question have got it. Arundhati ji.
Yeah, I was thinking about that only, Arundhati ji, but then I brought my mind back because Parvati is there in that place, so I don't know. I have to see that image again. But thank you for highlighting that. That's something new I have seen today.
So, do we have any other question, query, comment, or if you don't have one now, it's fine. We will make sure that the recording of today's session is made available to everybody who has registered or even attended it. And later on, if you have any queries about the course program or anything that you wish to ask about the webinar per se, please feel free to email us at reachout@indica.courses. I think we had questions, few live and few in the chat box, which have kind of addressed what other people might have in mind and they wanted to clarify. I guess that way we have clarified a lot, but I just hope that from this session, you have had a clear understanding of what to expect from Sushanji's course, and do register for it. The journey will be very rewarding, we assure you, and the passion that Sushanji brings to the table, as well as the academic rigor, is something that a lot of you have experienced in his previous course too. So to enroll in this program and to know more about it, please click on the link that we have shared with you, or you can just simply go to indica.courses and click on this particular course and then enroll. If you still have any queries, as mentioned earlier also, please mail us at reachout@indica.courses. And as made clear even at the beginning of the program today, that we'll be sending you a recording of this with the registration link of the program so that you can review it at ease, at your convenience, and then make an informed choice. And it would really help us greatly if you could forward this recording and the enrollment link with anybody else that you know in your professional or social circle who might benefit from this particular program. So I don't see any other questions. With this, I think we've kind of kept it precise. We've been able to complete what we had set out for in today's webinar. So Shanti, thank you so very much for that very interesting session, which has made sure that curiosity of already curious learners has risen. And we look forward to the answers to the questions that you've raised during the session. And we also look forward to a lot more. I would like to thank you once again, and I would like to thank all the audience members who have joined us live on a weekday at 5 p.m. I mentioned it at the beginning that this is very heartening and gratifying, and that is what keeps us going. Your participation in our events, your participation in our overview webinars, your participation especially in our courses makes us feel that whatever we've set out for is worth it. So thank you so very much once again. We look forward to seeing you in our courses soon. And till we meet again in another overview webinar, which we are scheduling very soon and which we will notify you about. Namaste. Have a great week ahead. Thank you.